Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Cup of CelebriTEA.
Happy Tuesday. How is everyone? Great to hear. Oh my gosh. Okay, do you want to start? Because I feel like you have some stuff. Cheese and crackers. So the last episode, you said you were gonna watch some Emma Chamberlain content, and did you?
I did. I'm actually on like the third vlog right now. I started off with the Met Gala one. Since she did like do some interviews. And yeah, I was just telling Lynn, I'm like, I get the appeal. Like she's very personable and she's so chill and like the whole like most of the time in her vlog she's just talking to the camera like she's talking to the person watching. So I get it. I'm here at home by myself. I'm like, I have a new friend and her name's Emma. So
I love that. Maybe I'll watch some of her vlogs too. Maybe.
all right, but let's get into some new stuff. We need to talk about how Kylie is getting into baby products.
Oh my God, I know. Oh my God. Kylie baby. Like, seriously? Like, is
Like
your name about to be in everything?
she's trying to own the world. She's trying to get her hand into everything. But I mean, okay, we obsess over Kylie being a mom. Yes, we love her. But when I heard Kylie like baby products, I was like, okay, calm down. Like, get out. Like, why? Like, are you actually gonna? I'm sure she cares what she gives Stormy, but I don't know. I can't. Kylie and baby products, like, that is so weird to me. Like, no.
Yes. So I remember what I said to you when we were texting about it. I said the same sentiments. Like, of course, when you're a mother, you want the best and most natural, chemical-free, organic products for your baby. And it's like, Kylie, why can't you just promote other companies that already do it? And I guess she's been working on it a couple years. I remember her friend Heather Sanders was posting on Instagram stories saying, like, I'm so proud of you, Kylie. Like, I know this has been in the works for multiple years. And it's interesting because it makes you think, how many of her followers are mothers? Like, Kylie, like, are you not aware that majority of your fans are still in middle school, still in high school? Like, they're just very young and impressionable. So it's like, huh? Like, I just wonder how she's gonna do it. I feel like she's gonna sell out just because there are a lot of like moms out there who are relatively like around our age who would love to have that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, what is the longevity of this company? Like, have you really thought this through? Like, have you thought about the strengths, weaknesses, competitors, and threats? Like,
Yeah, and why Kylie of all people? Like all her sisters, well, all of her sisters, her all her older sisters all have kids. Courtney, Chloe, Kim. Like what?
and you know,
Kylie of all people.
it's a great point that you brought up her older sisters because I would have suspected Courtney would come
Yes.
out with a baby product because Courtney has actually gone to Congress to speak about how there's so many chemicals in like the baby's toys just from making them, like the byproducts of the plastics and stuff. And she's very like anti like chemical. She's dairy free, she's gluten free, she's sugar free. And remember that whole fiasco with Courtney and Kim about the candy party? She's like, no, there's candies that are healthy without all those extra chemicals in it. And I'm like, Kylie didn't even seem like to be like, I'm like, girl, you still eating cup noodles. Like,
Exactly. I would definitely have seen Courtney more into that, but I don't know. Mama Jenna working hard for Kylie. I think Kylie is now her favorite.
yeah, I think to sum it up, my opinion is it's not very on brand for Kylie to do something like this because how often does she, when Stormy was born, did she ever share her favorite baby products and baby this and baby that, like baby technology? It doesn't make sense to me. I would be like, okay, that makes sense that Courtney would come out with it because she loves being a mom, she loves being pregnant, and she wants the best, cleanest, most organic food for her kids. So like I would expect it from her, but
You know.
not from Kylie. Unamused.
And like, are you struggling with money? Like well, why don't you support a company that's already doing it right? There are probably so many other baby brands that are like smaller businesses that really care about their products and their customers, and this just sounds like a money grab. Oh well.
While we're on the topic of the Jenners and the Kardashian sisters, I have a really quick blurb about this, a quick sip about Kim K. There has been speculation. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos and they've had like before and after photos of how Kim K is getting a butt reduction. So she's making her butt smaller. And the theory is because she wants to be taken more seriously in the new phase of her new career, being a lawyer, being a part of the social justice and criminal reform in the prison system. So it's really interesting because when you look at the pictures of Met Gala, like her butt isn't like, well, bam, huge. Like, yes, she got a booty, but it's much smaller than we remember. So it's very interesting. And I think it's like kind of goes into the topic of like sex appeal and using your body to gain followers and sell stuff. And now she's older and she's refining herself. So it's going to be interesting how people react and respond to her because she's been so, vocal about female empowerment, showing off her body, nude pics and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how she does as a lawyer and beyond.
Wow, I feel like this is the kind of news that would break the internet. But Kim losing her big ass booty, like that is what brought her here. That's what brought her family here. And I don't know, that just sounds very disrespectful to her, but for getting rid of what got her to the top.
That is so funny you say that because it reminds me of the time that Scott was like, if you guys lose your butts, we may all lose our careers.
Exactly. Like, I mean, but I get it. I get it. But I mean, wow, she really is trying to take this seriously then. But okay, since we're still on this Jenner topic, did you know that they're gonna continue their show, but on Hulu?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just discovered this.
It's so dramatic how they did it with the crew, but I guess they were just sad because they had to get a whole new crew because that was the crew from E Entertainment. Now they're gonna have a crew from Hulu filming them. So that's why they were crying, like, thank you so much, you guys have been our family. Because they were parting ways with the crew. But no, they're still gonna film and they're still going to be on TV, and I think it's going to be a little bit different because of Hulu and the exposure, and it's going to be interesting. Like, I wish I could see the numbers of the impressions. Like, is Hulu bigger than TV now? Like, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I use Hulu to watch like my old TV shows like One Tree Hill and such. But that's interesting that the Kardashians gonna be there. I probably will watch it. Let's be real. But I mean, I heard it's gonna be a faster turnaround. So I mean, like with E, like an event would happen and we wouldn't be able to watch it till like 6 to 8 months later. So that would be actually cool to see because that's what I hated about E. That I was like, when something big would happen in their real lives, I'd be like, oh my god, we have to wait like how long until we could see their actual like reactions and stuff.
Yes, I agree. Everyone's like in the comments when a drama comes out, they're like, can't wait to see this in 6 months. And they're already on Hulu. Like, they already released their new episodes and stuff. And I remember I would watch their very old episodes. And I'm just like, see, this is what we want. Like, if you guys are going to continue being on TV, reality TV at that, like, bring some humor back. It's all been drama, 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 and this severe blur filter where they're just trying to hide their face and wrinkles. And like, seriously, you guys, like, it's called reality TV, not Instagram stories.
Yes. Oh man.
Anyways, um, speaking of social justice and criminal reform and lawyers and stuff, R. Kelly is guilty. Oh my God.
Praise.
Praise. And there was always like those rumors and like theories about him and Aaliyah, but now it's really come to the truth. And I was like, dude, that is just so disgusting. Like, she was like 16, 17, or like 15 when he married her. And it's just like, what?
I mean, he's gotten away with it for so long that finally it's time.
Yes, I love that for him. I love that he's guilty. And now it brings up the question that I want to ask you is, are you going to listen to R. Kelly if he comes up on accidents? Like, I remember a couple years ago, people were like, I'm no longer listening to I'm a Flirt and I Believe I Can Fly. So what's your take? What's your plan of action?
I have not been listening to him ever since, I want to say like maybe 3 years ago. I like stopped listening completely. And it honestly made me like so upset because I love his songs, but I was like, I cannot separate the two. Like, and there's people who are like, no, but then this is just his music. Like, it's not him. But I'm like, no, it is him. It's him. He's gaining from it. I'm just no support towards him. I think we need to ban his music. Like, I know the traumatizing things he's done to young girls, not women, girls, like that is unforgivable, and F him.
I agree. I agree. I'm definitely going to try my best to avoid listening to him, and God forbid he goes on the radio. And I just asked that because like I remember at one point when I would make like R&B playlists, I would always add like R. Kelly, I'm a Flirt, and I remember that was like the song on MySpace. Like people had that song all the time. And now I'm like, okay, no R. Kelly music. And I think like he even did a song with like Lady Gaga, but I think like
Really?
that might, yeah, it was like it's like do what you want with my body. Like, oh my God, like
Gosh.
right. Like now it's like, oh God, what a title. But yeah, no, I will not put I'm a Flirt on any of my playlists. And it's like I even watched a few episodes of the Lifetime things, and it's just like so heartbreaking for the parents. Like they're trying to get the daughters back, and like they don't have any contact, and like, oh God, this man has done too much, and it's scary. I feel like there's even worse stories that we don't know of.
Exactly. And yeah, I'm not gonna get to it, but I agree. Next on my list, I tweeted about this, but Chelsea Handler and Jo Koy dating. And I don't know if you follow them on social media, but like now they're like showing like their PDA. Like Chelsea's like they're in business class on a flight, and Chelsea Handler's like sitting on his lap giving him kisses. And I'm just like, wait, this is so weird. Like I love Chelsea Handler. I love Jo Koy. But when I heard the news, I was just like, I first heard it on TikTok, and then like someone's like, "Oh, they're dating," and I was like, "No." And then I looked at it, I was like, "Wait, actually, maybe." And the next day, literally, is when they went public that they're dating, and I'm like, I just, it's just weird. Like I feel like, if you watch them, did you watch Chelsea lately?
A few episodes, yeah. I do. I Her sense of humor is very dry.
Yes, I love her. I love her. And when Jo Koy would be on her show, she would just make fun of him so much. Like she would just tease him so much, and I thought Jo Koy was gay at first. Like there's just so many.
He has
I,
a son.
okay. And Jo Koy has some like drama because a couple of years ago he had like a pregnant girlfriend, and then now we don't know where she is. Like, and we don't see that kid. So I'm like, wait, where did she go? And now he's with Chelsea, and then Chelsea is in love, which she's. I feel like I have so much to say about this.
Keep going.
Yeah, she's always been a person who's like she was known for just going from relationship to relationship to relationship. So I mean, but she's definitely evolved. Like you could even see it in her comedy specials. Her last one that I saw, like she talked about some like deep ish that she went through when she was younger about her brother passing and how that's affected her to her present day. And like she's definitely evolved so much and become more vulnerable publicly. So I love that for her, that she's like saying like I'm in love and all that stuff. But then another part of me is like, is this a publicity stunt because you guys are on tour? There's a lot going on in my head about this.
Yes, when I saw your tweet, I was like, "What? Wait, like I think for me, it's just the unexpected part. But when I talk to my friends about it, they're like, come on, they're both comedians. They're both in the industry. And I don't know. I just don't know why I find it so weird when it kind of makes sense because they're in the same industry. They do the same exact job. And I think it's maybe because, like, oh, like, I don't, maybe because Chelsea is more famous than him, you know? Like, I feel like celebrities tend to date those in the same, like, ranking as them. And that's not to say Jo Koy is not funny and he's not talented. He is, but he's not like Chelsea Handler famous because she had her own TV show. So, I don't know. Maybe I just got to check my biases. Like,
No,
preconceived notions.
no, I mean, I've been following both of them for so long, for years now, and I think it's because the image I have of Chelsea Handler is like this badass bitch that don't care, like does not settle for any man, and then to see her all lovey-dovey is so out of character, or like out of
True.
her, yeah, out of her branding, I would say. So it's just very weird to see. And then Jo Koy of all people, who I like when I think of the relationship, I just think about how much she makes fun of him, and like she would call him like a loser and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, now you're dating the loser.
Okay, so you said you've been following them both for a long time. Have you seen them like hang out with each other as friends, like support each other, go to each other's shows, or just like randomly hang out throughout the years?
I mean, I think I've seen them in like photos, like when they would go to shows, maybe, but it's always been like in a group setting. It's never just the two of them. Like, there's always other comedians or something in their photos. So yeah, it's just interesting to see.
Oh my God. I feel like they're both vulgar too, so it's just like
Oh my god,
I'm
yeah.
trying not to imagine them together, but I do remember like Joko doing this one thing. I don't know if it was in Hawaii or some other place, and he always talks jokes about how he's small. And then Chelsea Handler, I feel like I don't know. I feel like in bed she would just demand a lot. So like I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm just like concerned. I'm like, what's going on there? But they just seem so happy together, and life is so small. Wait,
Yeah.
no pun intended. They like their circle is small. Like, oh my god.
It makes sense because they're in the same industry and they're both comedians, but like, is there a successful relationship between two comedians? Like, you know how people say like, oh, comedians are just like depressed people that like, and this is how they deal with their depression or their feelings. Like, I'm like, so are these like two depressed people together? Two comedians? I don't know. Does that work?
I think that is beyond our pay grade to assess. But also there was this like thing that would go around like Tumblr days, and it was like, oh, like the more you find someone funny, like the more likely you are to have sex with them. And I feel like maybe they both found each other hilarious and hysterical, and it's just like that connection and chemistry, and I don't know. Anyways, I feel like they're also older too. I think they're both over 50, so it's like, you know what? They don't have time to be like, I don't know if I like him. They're like, let's just try it.
Let's just do it.
But okay, I do remember Chris Pratt. I mean, I don't know if he had like a comedian career, like where he did stand up and stuff. Maybe he did, but obviously he was the funny guy on Parks and Rec. And his wife, like, wasn't she like those one of those funny people?
Yeah, and look where they are now.
I know, because he left the comedian role. He went to main character Guardians of the Galaxy and
Yeah.
Jurassic.
When I think of like couples, like I don't think there's not a couple that I'm like, oh, they're both so funny.
I feel like I would love to see them do stand up together. Like I would definitely pay for that. And Joico was actually going to come to Sacramento like this weekend, but his tickets for like even high up there was $100. I was like, whoa, like is he this big? Because front row was like, I think like over $500
Oh my
more
gosh.
than Beyonce. I was like,
Well,
what?
he does have two Netflix specials, so
True.
yeah. I mean, damn it. I wish I saw him a couple years ago when I had the chance, but I didn't.
Anyways, like, good for them. Good for them. You know what? Life is short, and
I know.
Accurate.
I know you're not his biggest fan, but Elon Musk is single.
How?
It's interesting because I guess he's still co-parenting his kid. Wait, does he have one kid or two?
No,
I
he has multiple kids. He's been married multiple times. And the weird thing is that, like, all of his wives started off as brunette and they ended up being blonde. Like, he definitely has a type. And no, he has multiple kids and he has grown kids too. This man is 50 something years old with a newborn baby. Like,
I obviously don't know much about him. But okay, so his recent ex-wife is Grimes,
mhm.
and they have their kid X. I'm not gonna say the full name because who even knows how to pronounce that? But apparently in like their statement, they said that they still have love for each other, and they're gonna still continue to live together. The issue is that he's like mostly in Texas for all his like businesses, and she's in LA for her work. So that's the reason they're divorcing, which I'm like, can you ever even be in a relationship then with all your businesses? Like, I don't know, but he's on the market, and I told my boyfriend, I'm like, I'm gonna go find me a billionaire.
Yeah, it's interesting because I like once the news that Grimes and Elon Musk broke up, there's been so many like videos and on how he's like a narcissist, and someone said because he is on the spectrum, he did say he has Asperger's, and I guess I don't want to get in trouble here, but I guess for some, it's like they can only focus on one thing, and his main focus is his work. So that's why his relationship perhaps did not get enough attention. Because I feel like when you're a celebrity, like you have a different schedule from other people. You're always on the go and you're working and stuff. Like you're not like a regular person with a set schedule. So I feel like for them, I definitely feel like they could have made it work with being in different states because I feel like they got together knowing who each other was, and I think it just sucks that they're splitting up, and maybe it's for the good. But I feel like when you're a celebrity, like you kind of have to make it work because there's a lot of actor couples who are like on different countries acting and filming, making movies, and they don't see each other for a long time, but they still make it work and stay together. So I don't know. I feel
That's
like they should have never gotten together in the first place then.
that's what I was wondering. Like, okay, they said in their statement that they still have love for each other. So I'm like, okay, so if you still have love for each other, then stay together. What is it that is have like requiring you guys to have a divorce? That is the secret. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna come out. You know how Bill Gates his stuff came out. So, but I'm just saying, like, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but Bill Gates and Melinda were together for so long, and Elon and Grimes were not even together 5 years, and I just feel bad for the baby. And supposedly his name is like Asher Phoenix, and that's how you pronounce it. And I'm just like, seriously, like, how now the baby's like, it's not obviously like Elon's not gonna have that much time to commit to the baby, especially like the first 3 to 5 years. It's so crucial. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, I don't know how I would feel when I'm 10 years old and my dad is like 65. Like, what?
There's families out there like that.
True. But, Grimes seems like a sweet girl. I did watch her video of getting ready for the Met Gala. Like, she seems very, like, cute and nice and sweet. And I'm just like, how does she even get with Elon Musk? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I just remembered there was like people were criticizing her for this interview because apparently her kid or kids, I don't know what she has, but they don't call her mom. She said in an interview she didn't realize that was something that she had to teach, and she felt that X already knew that she had a distaste for the word mother anyways, because she says she doesn't feel like a mom. I don't know. People are like, okay, so you didn't realize you had to teach your son words? Like, I don't know. I might be butchering this, but I know she's getting criticized for it or made fun of for it. She thought that her kid would just learn the word mom on his own. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. That's
Okay.
just an interesting couple.
Speaking of couples, what have you been watching lately or listening to?
Oh, this is the time where I take out my phone and you tell me
I
what you're listening, watching to.
Yes, and I said speaking of couples because I don't know why I watched ASAP and Rihanna interviewing each other for Vogue and GQ, and it's almost like the same video, but just split on Vogue and GQ's channel. And for some reason, GQ has more views, but I don't know. It was like before they even announced that they, or not announced, but showed off that they were dating and stuff. And it's just like their chemistry is so cute. And like Rihanna's always laughing with him. And like, oh my God. And then the comments are like, oh, like, when you come back to watch this when after you find out they're dating and stuff. And so there's like more recent comments versus from like 9 months and a year ago. And I don't know why I watched that. I watched GQ, then I watched Vogue, and then I rewatched it recently. I'm like, why am I just so like in love with their love? Like, even though at that point they were just friends. For
Wait,
what?
so why did they do an interview together?
So it was basically to promote Fenty Skin, and so Rihanna was asking him like, oh, what's your skin type? And A$AP Rocky's like, handsome.
What the heck?
She rolled her eyes and she's like, okay, is that a oily handsome? Is that a dry handsome? Is that a sensitive handsome? And he's like, it's a handsome handsome. And they were rating like each other's met best red carpet looks, and he liked her like Cinderella blue dress with her braids and stuff, and he was like, really, why? And then in another interview with GQ, ASAP Rocky was talking about her. He's like, I that was my favorite outfit of hers because I saw it in person. Like I got to see it myself. And then he casually mentions like, oh yeah, I was the first black guy to model for Dior, and Rihanna was the first black woman to model for Dior. And he's like, I don't know why I said that. And then the comments, it's like, oh, like you're in love when you just start talking about them for no reason.
Aw.
Rihanna pulled up a picture of his first red carpet look, and she looked at him. She's like, "You look like you could have used some Fenty Skin back then." So like they have this playful relationship, and I feel like they have a good friendship foundation, and the fact that they laugh together so much, it's like, oh, it's so cute. Like I'm so happy for her.
I think this is the second week in a row that you were just gushing and watching their videos.
I even found an Instagram where it's dedicated to them, and I'm just looking at all the pictures, and I'm just like, it's so cute. Like I've never seen Rihanna like smile so hard and like to be so public with him. Like she's just at a random cafe in the street, and she's like, whatever, all over him.
Speaking of Rihanna, did you watch the Savage X Fenty show?
No, I don't because I don't have an Amazon account.
Oh, it's on Amazon.
Vanessa Hudgens was in it.
Oh yeah, I thought that was interesting. I wouldn't think they would add Vanessa Hudgens, but
When I saw Vanessa Hudgens was in it, so I went on her Instagram and I was like, oh my God, my eyes do not deceive me. She got a boob job.
really,
Oh yeah, I have the plastic surgery eye. Like I can tell when someone has a boob job for sure. So I was like, oh, that's interesting that she got it like in her like early 30s instead of like the beginning of her career. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I'll take note of that. Maybe I'll wait until I'm in my 30s too.
how do you feel about Vanessa Hudgens?
Okay, I feel like she's kind of stuck. I feel like she can't break into like the A-list celebrity world. Like she's always going to be known for High School Musical, which is not a bad thing. Like she's talented, she can sing, she's done Broadway and like other movies too. But I don't know, something about her just screams like privileged hippie to me. Like she loves like just all her feed is like yoga, spirituality, crystals. And like when that one time she did an Instagram live and she's like, well, everyone's gonna die, right? Like it's inevitable, talking about
Yeah,
the pandemic. And with her old boyfriend, Austin Butler, like she carved something into like, oh God, what park was she at? And it's like actually illegal to do that because it's like damaging the national monument and stuff. So I feel like she's definitely privileged, and I feel like she comes off as like, I'm so spiritually awakened, but like also you're like kind of ignorant too to like the realities that other people face. I don't know. I feel like she's talented. I can definitely respect that. But as a person, I just don't know. She seems like a little bit superficial.
Oh my god, like you took the words right out of my mouth. 100% agree. That's why when I saw her, like I saw that she was in the show, I was kind of like, oh, like I don't want to say she's not deserving of it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't feel like she's deserving of it.
Yeah, I feel like she's not that relevant. Like, of course, I understand like Normani, Bella, Gigi. Of course, like they're very relevant right now and they're big time. But Vanessa Hudgens, I'm like, okay, like she's like our generation. So I don't know. I mean, no, I don't. I'm not saying I'm like I don't want to bash a woman, but it was random. It was unexpected for sure.
There must be someone on the inside who's friends with her.
And there was so much diversity too. Like there was a lot of men there and different body types. So I feel like I would actually love seeing less celebrities and more like the unknown models or the models that are trying to catch their break.
Yes, like a lot. I loved a lot of the plus size models. I thought I hate calling them plus size because I myself like don't like that word. But
We're
I'm
trying to
like,
see real women with regular bodies, natural
yeah,
bodies.
exactly. I love seeing that. So, all right. Any other tea?
No, that's it for now, except my little bits and pieces there.
All right, we've sipped our cups dry. Thanks y'all for listening. I feel like we kind of just like rambled, but I think these are my favorite types of conversations.
Okay, thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.